Attention, this zone might be too techy for you. Enter at your own risk.
Well, this is a little odd for me. We're going to talk about a calculator. Now, this was kind of like an impulse buy for me, because B. Bishop PCM uploaded a video talking about his RadioShack calculator that he found, I think about a year or so ago. And I found this at my local Goodwill today for a grand total of $1. And so I had to pick it up. Of course, now since RadioShack is all but extinct right now, this video is being recorded in February of 2015, so keep that in mind if you're watching this months from now or years from now, because I highly doubt they will be here by the end of the year. They're going down the toilet. And so anything with the name RadioShack on it, I have to pick up because they're now becoming kind of, I wouldn't say collector's items, but they're nice to have around now since RadioShack is pretty much going out of business. So pretty much all the RadioShack stores up in my area are closing. What they're doing is they're closing half of them, and I think they're selling the rest of them. Last time I knew they were selling them to Sprint. But anyway, I found this at Goodwill, and let's go ahead and open it up. Came in this Ziploc bag. I don't know why, but it just did. Somebody put it in there. So let's go ahead and take it out. Hold on here. Here comes the calculator itself. Now, you notice this is kind of a, I would say, probably a 70s model or an 80s model. I believe this design dated back to 1979, I believe. Okay, so let's go ahead and power it on. Boom! That's all there is to it. And if I do, let's say, 400 times 2, that'll be 800. Clear that. 980 divided by 2 is 490. Oops, is 490. So this is obviously a pretty functioning calculator. It's got all your basics here. Again, so it's got all your basics here. I don't know what all these buttons are for. I am no math whiz. Even though I'm an IT major, I am not a math whiz. You would think I would be, but I'm not. Gross profit margin, that's the GPM key. I have no idea what that is for. What in the world is gross profit margin? I don't know. But, and honestly, I don't. I am not a math whiz. But this is a pretty functioning calculator. I had to pick it up because, of course, it's got RadioShack branding on it. It's in alright condition. It's not brand new. You can see there's that black stuff on the bottom of it. I have no idea what it is. I might see if I can take some alcohol to that and see if I can get that off. The model, in case anybody is interested, is model EC-2010. And based off that model number, we can actually look this up on a cool website if you've never been on it. It's called RadioShack Catalogs. We can actually find this exact calculator, and I already found it for you. And but this basic design dates back to the late 70s. This particular calculator style ran, I believe, up until the 90s when it was replaced with something else. But still, the same design principle was here. Again, it takes D cell, it takes D batteries here. Let me pop this off real quick. Hold on here. There we go. Takes just your standard D cell batteries. I picked up a pair of cheapo batteries today because I don't normally keep D cell batteries on hand. You know, I used to, but I don't anymore. So I had to go pick up a pair of, just a cheap pair will do. There's also a, hold on here. It's hard to do when you're using one hand. There we go. There's also a DC in jack here, so you can actually plug this into the wall and power it via a power adapter. And it takes a 6 volts, which I don't think I have. I have to look through my power supply parts to see if I can find it. It's got this floating decimal key here, floating for decimals or fixed. Again, I don't know what all this stuff means. But hey, it works as a calculator, so I finally have a calculator on my desk. I can actually use it for something. You know, I picked it up because A, it's got Radio Shack on it. Of course, you got to pick up anything with Radio Shack. And then plus, when I seen B Bishop PCM's video on his calculator, which is very similar to this, you know, I've seen that, I think, when he first uploaded it about a year or so ago. And I saw that, and I'm like, ooh, I seen a video about that. I want to pick that up. And it was only $1. Oh, and I almost forgot. I also got the owner's manual to go along with it. The owner's manual for the Radio Shack 10-digit desktop electronic calculator. I like how they spaced out desktop there. I think that's interesting how they spaced that out. That's funny. EC-2010 is the model number. Let's see here. What do we got? What's this? Whisper 2000. This looks like another Radio Shack product. I have no idea what that is. Okay, let's see here. Here's all the functions for you. Percent change, gross profit margin, item count, recall, memory plus equal, blah, 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 blah. All that fun, fancy stuff. Let's see here, the features. I mean, it's a pretty nice little calculator. I mean, for the time, it was stylish for the time. And this same design lasted several years. The first year it was sold, this particular style was in the late 70s. I believe 79 was the first year it was sold, and they kept the same body style but updated it slightly with different color plastic and stuff. It looks to me that it's a little discolored. It might be hard to see on the video, but it looks like there's a little bit of yellowing going on. So I would not be a bit surprised if the plastics are starting to become discolored. I would not be a bit surprised. But again, it's nice to have one of these old Radio Shack items laying around, because I bet you by the end of the year, Radio Shack will be no more. And so, gobble up Radio Shack items while you can. Let's see if we can find this calculator. And I already have. This is a wonderful website, by the way. It's called RadioShack-catalogs.com. It's a wonderful site. Why did I back on the home page? I don't quite understand why. But I did find this calculator. It was in 1986, I believe, is when it was introduced. This model, the EC-2010, was introduced, is in 86. Alrighty, let's see here. I believe it's page 1 something. Oh, I just dragged it off into its own separate window, because I'm an idiot. It was 158 is the page number that we're looking for in here. This is a wonderful site. I would highly recommend you go to this site and just check it out. It's fun, it really is. I like to sit here and browse these old Radio Shack catalogs. Here it is here. 10-digit fluorescent desktop, $29.95, new for $86. And this is it here, the EC-2010, 4-digit memory, exchange in percent cheese. Keys, not cheese. Percent cheese. Oh dear. But anyway, this is the calculator here. You can see it looks like it's more of a white color. This kind of has more of a, I don't know, it looks like it's starting to discolor, which, again, would not surprise me. Given its age, I would not be a bit surprised if the plastics are starting to discolor. But that is this model here, the EC-2010. It was released in 86. So we have a date of manufacture, at least a year of manufacture on it. So, yeah, this is a wonderful site. I highly recommend you check it out. RadioShack-catalogs.com. It's a wonderful site. I mean, it's just, if you're a real tech nerd, this is the site for you, because it shows you what Radio Shack used to be. Radio Shack used to be the source for everything and anything electronic. Then unfortunately they fell into the trap that gobbled up several other businesses. They lost touch of who Radio Shack was, and they can't figure out who Radio Shack was. And ultimately they're paying for it here. But yeah, that's that calculator, EC-2010, released in '86. We all have those eureka moments. Plus it's got Radio Shack on it, so I kind of wanted to pick it up anyway. Okay, so I think that just about does it for this video. I will have another video coming up shortly on this. This is a video that will be uploaded, the sad state of this Unkadell. Sad state of affairs of what's happened to it, and what's going on, and what I believe the diagnosis is. But anyway, that's a video for another day. Make sure you look for that. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you liked it, leave a comment, subscribe, and all that fun, happy stuff. Random video about a calculator. Just crazy things you'll find. Thanks for watching.
Since the day I was born, knew I had it. I didn't mean to spit flames, but you know how I do. Got that belt on my waist, come and grab it. I'm not gonna see it how I'm like.